Hey everybody, it's Lizzie from 9 Mile Creek Watershed District. Today I'm going to talk to you about testing the soil in your lawn or garden and how it's one of the best preemptive actions you can take as a homeowner to improve the water quality in your local lakes and streams. So it's springtime, and the weather in Minnesota is finally nice enough to start thinking about maintaining our lawns and maybe even starting up a vegetable garden. Maybe, like me, you want to grow all of the garlic. But these actions can affect our local waters. Whatever fertilizers you're supplementing your soils with to get that luscious green lawn or the ripest, plumpest tomatoes can wash away with every rainstorm straight into the storm drain. And the water that goes into our storm drains isn't treated in a wastewater treatment plant. The water, along with the fertilizers, goes straight into our lakes. So when we're excessively fertilizing our lawns, we're fertilizing the lakes too. And we want green lawns, but not so much the green lakes. I'm not saying you need to stop using fertilizers altogether. A neglected lawn can pose water quality issues too. If your grass isn't growing well, that means that it's not infiltrating as much water. This causes more surface land flow and sediment erosion. So we need to find a balance where we can use our fertilizers more precisely and effectively to keep a healthy lawn without really inhibiting the environment. This is where our soil tests can really help us out. Let's see what an example soil report will look like. Okay, so here we have an example soil test report from the University of Minnesota. You can see on this top row are all the nutrient information you can get from a basic soil test, which costs $17 through the U of M. You can see we got information on organic matter, pH, phosphorus, and potassium. If you wanted information on nitrogen or these trace elements, you would have to pay an additional fee. So let's go see what our results say. We've got phosphorus here, and the phosphorus is extremely high. That's not surprising. Minnesota soils typically have a high phosphorus. And that's why Minnesota has a state fertilizer law, which states that you cannot use phosphorus in fertilizer unless you're establishing a new lawn or your soil test says that you do. So this soil test really doesn't say we need phosphorus and we shouldn't be using it. It's illegal if we do. Over here on pH, looks like we're a bit basic. We might want to add some acidity to our soil with some supplement to make it in that optimal range for growing. Potassium down here, also known as potash on our fertilizers, looks a little low. Potassium is responsible for bolstering our plants' immune system against diseases, so that would be useful to increase. Down here we'll look at the recommendations. You see nitrogen's on there. That's using the average soil in Minnesota. Nitrogen is usually the limiting nutrient for plant growth, so it's suggesting 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Phosphorus, you can see no pounds needed. We already knew that. Potash, which I stated was potassium, suggests we do 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So when we're going to the store looking for fertilizers, we're going to be looking for this ratio. It's an NPK ratio, which stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Okay, so we have a 10, 0, 10. That 0, again, is for phosphorus, which makes sense. We don't need that. If we were adding phosphorus to our lawn, it would just be excessive nutrients that would be going to our lakes and creeks for no reason. And down here we see some suggestions for how to apply these nutrients. It says use a third for late spring, a third for late summer, and then a third for early fall. And so that's 3 pounds of potash and 3 pounds of nitrogen for the entire year. You don't need any more beyond that, but to spread that out equally through the lawn. In fact, if you add too much fertilizer, that can actually burn the grass you're trying to help. So as you can see, these tests help give you the information you need to apply the right amount of nutrients to your lawn to get it healthy, but not overuse the nutrients, otherwise they will go to our lakes and creeks. So tune into our next video, which will actually show you how to collect the samples and turn them into the U of M.